Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, Richard here, and welcome to the second episode of my Payday 2 Stats in Depth. Today we will be taking a look at stability and recoil, and the effect certain skills have on weapon kick. First, let's examine how recoil is calculated, which is a bit complicated, so just hang in there. All weapons have a set of parameters that change the weapon's position relative to its starting point. There are different sets for different weapons. We will use the COEFF numbers to make things easy. So in each set there are 4 numbers. The first 2 are the vertical or Y ranges, and the remaining are the horizontal or X ranges. Positive values in the number sets means up or to the right, and negative values mean down or to the left. Each of these numbers represent a possible change in degrees of your view from every time you pull the trigger. So the set of numbers used by the COEFF and all other assault rifles is 0.6, 0.8 for the Y, and -1 and 1 for the X. On screen is a graphic illustrating what this looks like. As you can see, the COEFF only has upwards vertical recoil and equal measures of side to side. On top of this graphic you will see the actual data table for weapon recoil in Payday 2. As you can see, all assault rifles and most SMGs use the same recoil pattern, which makes them fairly consistent. The next step is understanding how stability affects recoil, and if you thought we were done with math, you were wrong. Stability is actually a variable in a formula that determines a multiplier that affects the recoil patterns previously mentioned. Now the formula is fairly simple: 30 minus stability, which is then divided by 10, with the maximum stability value being 25. If me saying the maximum stability is 25 alarmed you, it should, as technically many of the in-game skills that say they increase stability by a set percentage are actually lying to you. We will discuss what effects skills have on stability shortly though. Pre-skill stability values must correspond to a certain set of numbers, and on screen is the possible stability values a weapon can have pre-mod and post-mod, but pre-skill. The game will automatically round these numbers if the value were to lie in between. So let's say our COEFF has a stability of 25. 30 minus 25 equals 5, and 5 divided by 10 equals 0.5 or 1/2, meaning our base recoil multiplier is 0.5. The way we use this is just to multiply said number by the values corresponding to said weapon, so essentially having the values previously mentioned. The new resulting recoil pattern would be 0.3 and 0.4 for the Y, and 0.5 and -0.5 for the X. Now getting back to skills and the effect they have on stability and recoil, let's go back to the multiplier we got of 0.5. Let's figure out what leadership based, supposedly a 50% increase in stability, actually does to your recoil. For this we need another formula. This one reads out to be 1 plus the total recoil multipliers. In our case we'll just use leadership base, so 0.5. We can then take this number and then divide 1 by it. This will give us 0.666 repeating, or simply 0.67. This is the recoil multiplier. We'll refer to this as the skill coefficient to make things simpler. The skill coefficient is then multiplied by the recoil multiplier, so 0.67 times 0.5, which comes out to be 0.335. So to determine the recoil values for the COEFF with mods and skills, we would do 0.335 times the recoil set, which would effectively cut the recoil by 2/3. The new values would read 0.2 and 0.26 for the Y, and 0.33 and -0.33 for the X. While this isn't as big as 50% increase in stability, for only 4 skill points it's still worth the investment. The table previously shown is quite important when understanding how recoil works, as one weapon may have higher stability but in the end will have a higher overall recoil. Rate of fire must also be taken into consideration, as the higher rate of fire, the higher the effective recoil will be. That covers everything as far as recoil is concerned. If you have any questions or feel I missed anything, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Most of the data is here thanks to the Payday 2 long guide. Thanks to Frankenstoller. Frank still can't pronounce his name. It's like Frankenstoller or something like that. The link for it will be in the description. My name, as always, is Richard. Peace out, guys.